Hey guys, this is a recap of the Queen's Court episode 4, Kingfisher. So the ladies are in the Queen Castle and they are just excited to what they're going to be doing today, and in come the Peets. So the Peets, they're here to talk to the girls, trying to get an update on what's going on with their men. And pretty much Evelyn, she finds Levon dreamy. She's like gushing over him. She feels like Levon is serious about this. I feel like Levon is one of the guys who is truly serious about this whole situation. I don't think he's here for the cameras. I don't think he's here to promote a brand, but I think he's actually truly serious about dating Evelyn. So I'm actually happy for Evelyn, and I'm like shocked that you could find someone nowadays to come on national television to look for love for real. So she also mentioned that she likes Robert, primarily because he takes note of the little things to please her. Like, for example, he wears the Jordans because that's Evelyn's thing. So he's a pleaser. But will he, take it to the end of Evelyn? I don't know. I feel like Evelyn, she thinks he's cute. She thinks he's charming. But in comparison to Levon, is definitely not the same. I feel like we know at the end of this that she goes with Levon. But even watching this episode, you could clearly see like who she really, really likes and who she likes superficially, Now, when it comes to Nivea, the energy between her and Ty is undeniable. They definitely have an attraction. The thing is that will we consider him a front runner? I would think, I like how, his body language agreeing with her body language. I don't know how far those two can go because we haven't seen them get any deep than superficial. I'm curious to how he really feels about her and how she really feels about him, and how he makes her feel. I really want to get to a more deeper side of Ty, but Ty is good to look at. So Nivea, she's enjoying her time with Ty. She feels like with Mac is the opposite situation. Like, she feels like Mac respects her and that they spiritually are bonded and they're connected. Now with Raishan, she's still curious with him, and he sticks around, but we don't really know much about him. I feel like you have to really pry out information out of Raishan, and she likes that she's learning about him, but it seems like a slow process. So in my opinion, between Ty, Raishan, and Mac, I feel like, if she was to give an honest try with Mac, I think Mac should be the front runner. But then she mentions Travis, and she says she likes Travis. And I'm like, what do you like about Travis? Like, aside from friendship, they laugh, they kiki. But aside from friendship, I don't really see her, in a romantic relationship with Travis. Travis is still a little bit awkward into himself. When it comes to Tamar, she talks about Corey, and she feels like being around him, she learns a lot about herself and what she needs to work on. And I'm glad that she realizes that during this process and not after the fact when watching the episode back. Because I feel like, Tamar still have some walls up, and, she's still working on changing herself, doing the work for herself, So I'm glad she's able to pick that up pretty quickly and try to put effort to recover with him. So the Peets are sending the ladies off the grid and into the nature, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Oh my god, that's not the date for me. I don't want to be out in the forest. Like, can we do like glamping? Like, come on. We don't have to smell the guy's BO, okay? We don't need to smell the body odor, okay? So we get to the forest, we see the guys, and the guys are having guy talk. And, of course, the originals bonded up. They clicked up. The OGs, gonna be with the OGs. And, immediately when the ladies get into the campsite, Levon, he goes and impress Evelyn. And, of course, Ty, he's gonna impress Nivea. So they go and they chop wood, and they show how strong they are. And I just love Nivea. Nivea needs her own show where we could just see Nivea try things. That should be like, how Cardi B did a show where she tries stuff, different hobbies and different like jobs. I feel like Nivea would be a great person to do just that. I would watch that, okay? And so you see Nivea try to chop the wood. I'm like, girl, no. So of course, JR, he throws his line at Tamar. And you see Gatsby just looking at the sidelines, waiting for his chance. Gatsby, I go back and forth. Gatsby, he's good, but then he's also bad. Like, he's a work in progress. But he is trying. Like, he is in the sidelines, and he's looking for his opportunity. When is the right time to approach and talk to her? To talk to Tamar. So JR, he brings Tamar 3 gifts, and he presents 3 gifts to her. And one is a lottery ticket, which is okay, cool. But Tamar, apparently she loves it. And then the second gift is some shades, and you see the little receipt tag right under the shades so she could see how much he spent on it. And then I think the best gift that he gave was the full body deep tissue massage. That is just amazing. That's a great gift. You don't even know what to get the girl. Get her a massage. Book her a massage. So of course this earns JR a date with Tamar. And with perfect timing, Gatsby walks in, and the look in Tamar's face is like, oh, she's like looking at her brother bothering her with her man, and she wants her brother to leave, and the brother's not getting the getting the vibes, not understanding. And you see JR, I feel like JR, he saw that too. He peeped that too. You cannot not see Tamar's face and not know that she was not happy about that at all. So Gatsby, he walks in and he asks for his time, and JR, he plays it off pretty smooth, but you could tell Tamar is not happy about it at all. At all. So of course she quickly, asks him, she quickly tells him that she heard how the date went and whatever. And with Evelyn. And Gatsby quickly bring up all the questions, and he gets transparent pretty much very quickly. He brings up what he said about the woman he used to date. And, it was a joke between brother and sister. And, Tamar looking at him like, no, there's no joke between brother and sister. So Gatsby, he's explaining the whole situation, and he told her that it's about like gigolo vibes. But, that moment was a bit interrupted. So we jump scene and we see now Ty and Nivea. And, they're talking, and Nivea's trying to take things slow. But I feel like she's so caught up in how he looks, and he's just taking all those compliments in. Ty, he talks about looking for something serious. So probably he's over like all this surface level flirting. So he says how he's looking for something serious and how he's looking for his best friend. And especially after all these looks fade, like what he wants truly is a best friend. So he asked Nivea if she believes that they are on the same page. And Nivea, she says yes. And Ty gets a date from Nivea. But I feel like I really wonder honestly how Nivea feels. Like, do you really feel like Tyrone can get any deeper than what he's doing right now? Because I feel like he's just surface. I feel like, Nivea's here for a good time, but I want her to find like a man. Like, I want her to get a man. And these guys are not doing what they're supposed to do. But anyways, Ty, he gets the date with Nivea. So back to Gatsby. So Gatsby's trying to tell Tamar how it's a joke. And even though it's like a joke, Tamar, she's not, even though, Tamar is not hurt by it. That Tamar does not care about this man, but Tamar asked him on a date to really, really, really talk about it. And Gatsby, he is not reading the situation at all. This is all just a plot, a storyline in our face, guys. in our face. Like, she does not want Gatsby, okay? So we then get to see Levon, and he brings he didn't just bring flowers for Evelyn. He had flowers made for Evelyn, and he left a little note, and of course it makes her melt. She starts cheesing, and a kiss on the cheek. I'm like, okay, we get some physical touch here for the first time. Have we? Is it? I wonder when they're gonna actually kiss. I'm waiting. I'm like, I can't wait for that moment. We then see Tamar and Corey. Now, Corey is the only other guy I see Tamar kind of feeling a little bit interested in. And, when they have their talk, Tamar discussed that she walked away feeling like she wants a reset. So how she wants to do this reset, she asked him on a date. And I thought that was so smooth. And I would love to see how, her and Corey take off. But we already know, the show has been spoiled for us that she's with JR. But, I hope this process is not so, stagnant for Tamar. I wonder if this will be a situation of growth, or we will continue to see her and JR be the Tamar and JR show. Now, Evelyn, she gets to talk with Robert, and I love Evelyn because out of these girls, I feel like Evelyn, she's giving these guys a chance to go deep. So she talks to Robert, and she tells Robert that she takes this process quite serious, and she opens up to him, and she would like to get to know him more and have him on a date. And he, of course, is not going to say no to Evelyn. He is thrilled that Evelyn is asking him out for a date. And she also asked Puff, and what's crazy, from the first episode till now, Evelyn, it's the feelings towards Puff is night and day. I don't feel like there's any more vibes towards her and Puff. So her concern, with Robert, is that he has no kids, and that with Puff, he has a son, but she is unsure if he still, is ready to get into something serious and kind of not give up, but pull away from the party life, because she wants something serious. Now, Nivea, when it's her turn to say who she's going on a date, she's like, big, boom, 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 done. And I love that about her. She can make up her mind. She can have a good time. She knows how to have fun. Now, she already asked Ty on a date, but she's taking Mac, Travis, and Rayshawn. And I'm like, I can understand Mac, because Mac, they spiritually connected. Ty, off the jump, she's physically attracted to him. But Travis, I wanted her to honestly take Tariq. I was like, Tariq was really genuinely I feel like he was feeling her a lot. I feel like Tariq, he was serious about this process, And now with Rayshawn, I felt like, I feel like if you're going on a date with Rayshawn or trying to be in a relationship with Rayshawn, that you're going to be the one really leading things. He's very, he doesn't say much, doesn't do much. He's just chilling, and, this is not a chilling process, okay? So I was so disappointed that Tariq didn't get a date. And, moving forward, Tamar, she's talking to Gerald, and Gerald is a gentleman. He is so country. He has such a charm about him, and he's like, that you're not going to be lifting anything heavy around Gerald, okay? So he is so charming, and he gets a date, with Tamar, and they go off skipping. I feel like, Tamar is not so much of a flirt, but she really did put in an effort to flirt with Gerald. So I was very happy to see that, actually. Now, we get to see the girls get on their dates. So first, let's go through Tamar's date. Tamar set up an intentional candle date where everyone is dressed up. No more gym casuals, no more gym clothes. And they're making candles. I thought that was pretty cool. Compared to Tamar's other dates, I think this is one of her best ones. Of course, Gatsby is saying all the right things to make it up to Tamar and to also one up JR, because I feel like, it's a bit of a competition for Gatsby towards JR. They have like a friendly competition going on. So they have their one-on-one, and he gives her a sweet card, and he is pulling all the stops. He even presents her a gift, and I'm like, are you really doing this right now, or are you doing this because JR? So I can kind of like look at that situation sideways, because I feel like he's just like, mirroring what JR has already done. Like, once a guy has already done that, now when you go do it, it just looks like you're just copying, you're just doing just to do it. But I think in that moment, in that scenario, if I was Gatsby, I would have done something different than what the other guys have already done, okay? Because, of course, getting a gift for someone is easy, but putting more thought into it is always 10 times better, okay? So they talk about the joke, and, he feels bad, and he does apologize, and that actually wins over Tamar. Not for a relationship or anything, but how she looks at Gatsby, because she likes that he takes ownership of, what he does, and she sees that, not most guys would do that. So she is appreciative of that. So mind you, she appreciates that on a friendly level, but not in a, okay, let's start to date. Let's look at this in a more romantic sense. Okay. In her one-on-one with Gerald, being with him, he is so country. So country. Like, I can't get over their conversation of how excited they both were about chitlins. I'm like, he is so kind-hearted, and I like that he pulls that countryside out of Tamar, because, Tamar is a city. She gives city. She gives, like, celebrity, but, she's also very country. So I was glad to see that, Gerard was able to pull that out of her. Now, what we were looking for the most, her one-on-one with JR. This guy can seem to make no mistakes at all, okay? He knows what to say. He wants to actually get to know Tamar more and more about Tamar's life. So he wants to know the quirky things and what makes her laugh. What does she like to, what she like to watch, pretty much. So apparently, fun fact, weird fact about Tamar is that she loves to watch manicure videos, and I'm like, I'm curious to what that means overall. Is it like the painting process? Is it like the cleaning process? What exactly part of the process makes the manicuring videos fascinating for Tamar? Now I'm interested. So it gets into a discussion about interracial relationship, and this is apparently an attraction, and apparently this is Tamar's first interracial relationship, and that that shocks JR, because he's wondering, like, how are things for her on an attraction level, like what does she see? So she doesn't admit to how she feels about him physically. But, she looks open. She asked you out on, this is your third date? Like, this is like your third, fourth date. So come on, she's into you. So we're back at the Queen's Castle, and we're here to watch Nivea take these guys on a home peach cobbler date. So the guys will be making peach cobbler in the kitchen. And I felt like, okay, all the guys, at home in the kitchen, they're going to let their guard down. Being out on a date, it can, make the guys feel a little bit nervous. So let's bring them home. Like, they've been in this environment before, so they should be all comfortable. And, it was a fun little date. I love peach cobbler, so I was excited that the guys would be making peach cobbler. I would have felt so special if these guys were making peach cobbler for me. I would have completely enjoyed this date for sure. Peach cobbler and some ice cream, that would have been perfect. So all the guys, they're saying nothing but positive things about Nivea. So what else you can say about Nivea if not positive stuff? She's like a great person to be around. But the guys that she have on a date, They're such a good batch of guys. I feel like, all those guys are great vibes, great friendship, but what we're here for is for a relationship if these guys are giving relationship material, okay? So apparently they say that the peach cobbler was a success, but the piece that Travis was eating, it looked a little burnt. Did you guys catch that? I felt like that looked a little too burnt, but okay, because we're on TV and we don't get to taste the food, we would have to believe you guys that it was good, but I don't know. I don't know about that. So, Nivea has a one-on-one with Mac, and he brings her flowers and a unicorn. I felt like her reaction to the flowers from Ty was way, way, way more excited than the reaction when Mac gave her the flowers. He gave her a unicorn, which I thought, that was a nice touch because, Nivea, she's always saying, "Oh, my lamb," a lot. So I feel like, a unicorn, like she likes unicorns, so it was nice. It was a nice little touch. And then he read her a poem he wrote for her. And I like, okay, this is a step up from the previous poem that you gave her because that was from your book. So it was nice for you to, write something, personal for her. And, if Ty had done this, I was like, ooh, I felt like it would have been a wrap with Ty and the other guys would have to go because I feel like that's the one thing missing from her and Ty is that deeper level relationship. I think from Mac, it was received by her, but I don't know if she was out as happy as it was when she just received only flowers from Ty, okay? Now, in the conversation with Travis, here is where I believe that Travis is just gonna be a friend. So Nivea asks him if he has ever dated a black girl, and he says he has, but his sitting body language to me wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. It didn't look too comfortable. To me, I would assume that these guys that they brought into this show have all been, researched or briefed to whether or not they date interracially because everyone in the cast is a minority. The lead women in this cast are minorities. So they're not expecting to meet a white person at all unless that's the gag of it all. So I don't think they would have done Our Ladies like that. So he should have passed that part of the test. But I can understand Nivea's concern to even ask that in the first place because the guy is not giving the vibes. Is he into you? Is he not into you? And to me, where I read it is his body language. His body language, he the way he was sitting, the way Nivea is sitting open and wanting to embrace the person she's talking to. But Travis, his body language is pointed out to the other direction. And even his chest is pointed out to the other direction. So he's not looking towards her, trying to, become one with her and open up with her at all. But they do have a good laugh and they do talk and they are able to connect. But to me, it's just on a friend level. It's just on a friend level. And I'm not really feeling that as a connection. Now, when it gets to Raishan, Raishan, he gives her alcohol and they're drinking. And he is just not opening up too much, a bit dry. And I felt like I didn't learn anything new about Raishan in this episode. If anything, later in the episode, we learned some not good things about him. Okay? So now we get to see Evelyn's date. And she has arranged arrangement flower dates, which I thought it was okay. But between the 3 dates, I like Tamar's date the most this episode. So Evelyn's on a date with her guys, and Robert and Evelyn immediately bond, and they have such great chemistry with each other, great banter. I do think that if not Levon, it could be with Robert. I feel like if she let Robert open up some more, she can, and she let her guard down, that they two also have a great connection. So Evelyn was just speaking and just saying to him that she can provide for herself, and she's at the point where she's just really looking for a romantic partner. So she really does take this process serious, and I think that's a great position to be at as a woman, because you're not looking for anyone to provide for you or to take care of you, of your family. You already have that taken care of. Now you're at a space to truly just look for love, just look for partnership, companionship. I think that's the best place to be. Now with the one-on-one with Levon, she is getting to know him and ask him how he's so chill, and he just says all the right things, and he's open to like moving to California. Like, he's just such a chill dude. Like, he doesn't give Evelyn any doubts to even question him so much, and that's why I really do like them two together, because it's just so effortlessly, so effortless. Now when it comes to Puff, it seems like, for me, you can tell that she's over Puff, because I felt like Puff was asking her all these questions and he was showing investment, but I feel like she respectfully is no longer interested in him, where she's just being respectful towards him and getting to know him on a friend level, and pretty much closing, the chapter with him. So it was unfortunate, because remember, in the first episode, she was really liking Puff. So we get girl chat with Holly, and the girls, they spill their tea on their dates, okay? So Nivea, she was kind of surprised with Raishan. He was fun in the group setting, but when it comes to the one-on-one, he is not present. He's not there. And Evelyn completely agrees. She says that, he tends to drift off. And I'm thinking, okay, he's socially awkward. Maybe this is not a setting for him, but it's interesting. It's just interesting to watch how he moves, because he doesn't get much camera time, but when he does get camera time, he seems to be a little bit more mysterious and aloof, okay? And then when you ask him questions, he can be present, but he gives like very, not much of an answer unless you pry it out of him. Now, Nivea, she mentions with Mac, the connection has been continuous, which she is, shocked about, because she was wondering when the connection's gonna stop, because of course she's not physically attracted to Mac. So she's just wondering when, she's just going to see him as a friend. But, their connection is like, it seems to be like connecting where, he is showing interest and she's, trying to take that in. But I don't know how she will respond to Mac at the end of all this. And then when it comes to Travis, she mentions how he was nervous and he wasn't like too comfortable, which I agree. And, it was very visible based on his body language. Now, when it gets to Tamar's turn, she mentions to the girls that Gatsby, he wrote her a handwritten letter, which surprised her. And, the girls, they thought that was sweet, but, they're not that, that supportive over her and Gatsby, because they know Gatsby and her is not going to be a thing. But when it comes to JR for Tamar, JR really impressed her. Like, he made her feel like a woman, and what woman does not want to feel like a woman? So with JR, he's the clear front runner for Tamar. Like, it was clear since episode 1. Even before episode 1, we found out that that's who she picked. It's just, I wish we get to see more development between these two. Maybe some hardships. Not like hardships like anything rough, but like I want them to have like, I don't know, something differencing of opinions, and they work together, or they go on a date and there's like some sort of difficulties and you see them how they work and through those difficulties together. Like, that would be nice. Now with Evelyn, she's happy that she's very grateful that Puff is there, but he hasn't been really bringing it for her. He's his presence on the date, like, you wonder if he's still checked in. Even though he's here, he's not like here compared to Levon is or to Robert. Like, the other guys were more deep with how they responded to the date, as opposed to him. He was very, not there, very, very shallow. Now, when it comes to Robert, she feels like Robert's just a nice guy. And I'm like, don't friend zone him just yet. I'm like, dang, I think this is where Robert's gonna be friend zone maybe next episode, but we'll see. But she views him as a nice guy, and typically when a woman starts off saying, oh, he's a nice guy, she sees him as just a friend. So we'll see next episode how Robert do with Evelyn. So they do discuss about the guys who they didn't take on a date. So Tariq, one of my guys, Nivea didn't take him on a date, but she does view him as a cool guy, a fun guy, a chill guy. And maybe him being chill is what's the problem with Nivea. But I feel like, no, Nivea, chill is okay. You don't need all that rah-rah. You have a lot of energy yourself. Tariq, he should be chill. I feel like she's not giving Tariq the shine he deserves. I think he should have been the one who went on a date. Not Travis, nor Raishawn, okay? And then with Michael, the girls, they caught on. He's a flip-flopper. For him, he can go with this person, he can go with that person, he can go with this person. He hasn't shown who he has all the eggs in the basket for. And, he's a guy who kind of goes with the flow. And remember, he's a sociopath. I eliminated him since episode 1, so it was a no for Michael anyways. I'm like, when is Michael gonna go? So it's time to invite 3 guys to the elimination dinner. And I'm thinking, who are they going to invite? So we see Travis gets an invite, Tariq, and Raishawn. And honestly, who should have been invited to the elimination dinner? All of them should have been invited to the dinner party. Because there's other guys that need to go. They had to go. Raishawn, he's a bit shocked that he is in the dinner party. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you not self-aware? But anywho, so Nivea, she talks to Tariq. And I feel like in that moment, she realized that, Tariq shouldn't have been in this dinner party. He was not the one to bring here. So they feel like they have known each other for a long time. Nothing but compliments towards each other. He is good looking, smart, and he makes her laugh. I feel like, this was a conversation that needed to be had with Nivea and Tariq. Because I feel like here she realized, okay, there's something with Tariq. Maybe she needs to pay attention more or invite Tariq out on a date. So I hope next episode we get him out on a date, okay? So Travis and Tamar talk, and I'm like, this is so weird. Why are these two talking? Are they gonna have a friend talk? So pretty much he opens up to her and tells Tamar about his past, and he's pretty much also been celibate too for a while. But you could tell she's not interested in Travis like that. So I'm like, Travis, you barking up the wrong alley, the wrong tree, okay? So Tamar talks to Tariq, and it's the same thing too. So I guess the purpose is just for everyone to just have a conversation to get to know one another. But I didn't see much of a purpose for Tariq to talk to Tamar. But Tariq, he was very respectful. Like, it was not like, oh, he was hitting on Tamar, but he was just really trying to get to know Tamar. Now, Evelyn and Travis talk. And I was like, okay, I felt like Travis, would have been on Evelyn's date. From what I can tell with his body language, it was still not giving too much interest. I think what I realized with him, he's just not too comfortable. But his body was a little bit turned towards Evelyn, just a little bit. I think he just needs to chill a little bit. Maybe I guess it depends if who's comfortable. But he has a good laugh with Nivea. It's just, I do see him more of a better match with Evelyn than I do with Nivea. Because I feel like with Travis, even though he can have a great laugh with Nivea, I feel like he was not open, or he didn't see himself with Nivea. Which is unfortunate because she's super cool. So Raishawn and Nivea have a talk, And she asked him interesting about his body language. I'm like, ask, what about Travis? Travis wasn't giving body language. And he reassures her, but he's a little bit drinking a bit much. And when he gets to Evelyn, he's at the point where he's slurring his words. And I'm like, ooh, we getting that other side of Raishan. I thought Raishan was a quiet, shy dude, but apparently not. He is slurring his words to Evelyn, and he starts saying to her that we have such tension. And I know Evelyn's mind is like skirt, 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 skirt. And he starts to push up on Evelyn. I'm like, this man is doing too much. Where is security? I need security. But that's the funny thing about liquor. It makes the truth come out. So right on time is elimination. And so Nivea first addressed Tariq. And, she's very quick with Tariq. She's like, Tariq, you are so genuine. You are here to stay. And he is safe. I was like, no question about it. He shouldn't have been at this dinner. But then when it gets to Raishan, I'm like, we gonna need security for this one. This one is gonna go down pretty bad. So with Raishan, she tried to keep it light and happy. She said, she's happy to get to know him. But finding out that he's overly aggressive and very sexual towards her girl, that was not cool. It was doing too much. But Raishan was starting to give some feedback. And I'm like, okay, we gonna need the NFL football player to escort Raishan because he's doing too much action. He was doing too much, okay? So then Tamar, she addressed Travis. And Travis, she tells him that he is a breath of fresh air. And, I appreciated Travis in this moment because compared to Raishan, who was about to get a little rough, Travis, he was pretty cool. And, that's why he gets to stay. He is very wholesome. But the girls, they want him to become a little bit more comfortable with himself around them. So he is safe to stay another week. So next week is not next week, but the next episode is an exciting episode because it's a cookout and family and friends are visiting for the guys over to the Queen's Castle. So I think this is very interesting because we get to see these guys with their people and we get to see their ladies interact with them. So I just wonder how this is all gonna go down because I'm just so curious because this is a make or break moment for Levon and Evelyn. Obviously we know they do fine, but I can't wait to see how the family interact with each other. And then to see Gatsby and his people, who he's going to bring for his people to speak on his behalf, how they're going to interact with Tamar. And then I want to keep my eye out for JR. Who's going to come for JR? Who's going to be his people to speak for him? And what they're going to say. That's going to be interesting. I think that's about it that I look forward towards, guys. Because for me, I don't feel like Tyrone's going to have... I wonder who's going to come for Tyrone. Like, who he's going to bring. Is it going to be a guy? Is it going to be a woman? I would love for the guys, if a woman came, a relative that's a woman, come to speak on their behalf, to speak woman to woman with them. Because with guys, the guys are going to just hype each other up and, hype up the guy. So I really would like a female perspective of the guys, family members or friends that are coming. So that would be pretty cool. Overall, this episode, it was okay. I was a little bit disappointed with how, some of the date selections went down, but you can't really help that. I feel like, they're trying to also keep up a storyline. So there's definitely some guys that need to be cut next episode. So let's get into it. And if you like this recap, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you who've made it this far to this recap. I appreciate you so much for taking time out your day to listening to this recap, and I wish you nothing but the best. And as always, I would like to spread as much kindness to you all And I hope you guys take care and enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your evening, your weekend, whenever you're listening to this. So share some love, share with a friend, leave some comments down below, and also check out some other episodes or some other shows that I do as a recap for us, like RuPaul's Drag Race, The Housewives. Who knows what's next coming up? I would love to hear your recommendations. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.